Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beers and Boost. I'm Barry,
And I'm Zach.
and we are without Nathan this week.
hmm
Nathan's out sick. I've kind of had a little bit of sickness, so we're doing a remote session, half episode kind of thing. So we'll be back and better than ever again next week. But for now, let's go ahead and hit you up with a whole bunch of recalls.
Yeah. Technically only two recalls.
But there's a whole bunch.
It's an entire page. So Hyundai is following Kia by recalling 207,000 of their Sonata sedans for a risk of fire. Take a
Of
shot.
course, take a
Uh,
shot.
Man, we've been just hammering the viewers recently.
Oh, yeah.
So the risk is caused by a fuel leak from the low pressure fuel pump, the one that's usually in the tank or just outside the tank. Craps, craps,
Craps.
cracks, cracks can happen because of overheating. So, fuel leaks, bad.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
affected years are the 2013 and 2014, and the fix is, quote, still in development.
Well, I mean, at least that's better than the high-end Sedonas, not the Sonatas, but the Sedonas from last week, where they didn't even have a fix for their
Yeah,
fuel pump issue. So,
it's something. Just replace it with one that's not going to.
yeah, no,
Okay,
right.
anyway. Okay.
Just pull a Porsche and replace it with a different one.
Yeah, that's what you should do. They're
Yeah.
just gonna go like duct tape it. And fair warning, you should have said this in the beginning. If I sound like I'm stuttering, it's because I'm literally listening to myself because that's the only way we can find to record me and Barry remote. So I'm listening to myself at like a half-second delay, and it's bad.
Quite annoying.
Yes. So our last recall, this will take a little bit, so buckle up. Toyota is recalling about 1.8 million of their vehicles between 2013 and 2019 production years.
And
So,
we have to add on before we tell you all of the cars. Please pay attention because this is a lot of cars.
yeah.
But second, this is a continuation of their previous recall
hmm
for the same issue. So this is just more of.
Yeah, which that one took a long time to get through. This one will take a long time to get through. So, we'll start with Toyota. The 2018 to 2019 Avalons, Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Sequoias, Tacomas, Tundras, the 2017 through 2019 Siennas, and 2014 FJ Cruisers, the 2014 and 2015 Forerunners, and Land Cruisers. So pretty much everything they've ever built.
The only thing I don't see on here is a and a Prius.
A Supra.
Oh, and a Supra, but the
That'd be a
Supra,
BMW recall
yeah,
anyway.
it'd be a BMW recall, yeah. But let's continue on because Lexus is also owned by Toyota,
Yes.
and this is an even longer list. So please listen up. The 2018 GS 300, the 2018 through 2019 ES 350, GS 350, IS 300, IS 350, the LC 500, the LC 500H, the LS 500, the LS 500H, the RC 300, the RC 350, the RX 350L, 2017,
hmm
2018, and 2019 versions of the RX 3. Not sure why the 350 is being recalled in 2017, considering how the parts are probably the same for the 350L as they are for the 350, but another year added on. Then
Amen.
also the 2017 IS and also the 2017 IS 200T, the 2017 RX RC 200T, the 2015 NX 200T, the 2015 RC 350, the 2014 ISF, and then the 2014 through 2015 editions of the GX 460, IS 350, LX 570, and then the 2013 and 2015 LS 460s, and the 2013 2014 GS 350s. So
Now that we're half an hour
basically,
into the episode.
every single, I think that's a whole bunch of just random letters and numbers we threw at you. But basically, what we're saying is if you have a Lexus or a Toyota
Yeah.
from pretty much 2013 through 2019, uh, they're being recalled for pretty much a faulty fuel pump. Again, kind of the same thing as high-end days.
hmm I'm assuming they're just using like plastic cases for fuel pumps nowadays because I mean everything's plastic.
Hmm.
which doesn't stand up to hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold quite as well as metal. So
Yeah.
I'm sure the
Well,
case is just cracking.
this one doesn't seem to be cracking as bad. It's more so it's leaking, and it's actually causing stalls. So your car could, run the risk of a crash while driving on the highway because it
Hmm.
could stall and lose fuel, lose power, or it could just, leave you stranded at a parking lot one day.
Yeah.
So,
So pretty much if you own anything from Toyota, just go get it looked at or Google it.
mm-hmm. Your VIN number will have a recall on it. Just check NHSTCA, National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration,
Hmm.
their website. Oh, all right. So moving on to some actual news. FCA's Ram Division CEO Reed Big.
Bigland.
What a name! What a name! He's leaving in April after it was found out that he had been fudging sales numbers. Well, since the 80s.
Whoa. That's
Yeah,
that's a couple of
so
years. Not as
that would
bad
be
as
about
Gosen.
22 years.
Jeez.
Um, apparently, he's been working with the government to get more info on FCA's sales reports. So somehow he turned himself in to help the government to then get fired from the company that he's been with for 22 years. So, so there's probably a lot more going on with this story that we don't know yet.
I'm
We'll, of
sure.
course, update you as more is found out.
He's gonna be arrested, somehow escape, flee the country in hopes that he can make his own movie like Carlos Ghosn and, get more money. That's what he's out
Yeah,
for,
that's what he's out
money.
for. Yeah.
I want a movie too
I just don't really understand how you get away with fudging sales numbers.
for that long.
Yeah. Like,
This is why it's a thing with banks where you have to leave no contact with the company for 9 days to see
mhm.
if you're doing something a little shady. They'll probably find it in those 9 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that should just be any company that deals with large numbers.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the part of FCA's news this week. So, Fiat has announced they have a new version of the 500, the all new 500 ES, which is an electric version of the 500. This
Makes
is
sense.
not new as they had the 500 E, which was an electric version, but originally designed on a gas powered car.
Hmm.
This new version is completely redesigned to be an EV from the ground up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it comes with an 80% fast charging, which will happen in a nice quick 35 minutes. So
Not bad.
you can go 0 to 80 in 35 minutes, which is kind of average for most fast charging stuff. I mean, we talked about the Honda
Nowadays.
Urban E was doing, I think, 85 as well in 30 minutes,
Hmm.
31 minutes. So it also comes with a 200 miles per charge, and FCA is saying it will have a level 2 autonomy. Now, if you don't remember what level 2 autonomy is from our car autonomy episode, level 2 offers steering, acceleration, and braking under certain conditions. So, more
Hmm.
so a safety feature than actual driving for you, but it
Yeah.
can be a nice way to help you on that highway, 200-mile trip down a Little Rock.
Hmm. So less self-driving, more when you start to doze off and drift in the other lane, it'll pull you back and wake you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, right now the 500 is not in America, and the 500 ES has no plans at the moment to come back to America. So
Naturally.
there's that, which sucks because this probably would be a nice cheap EV.
Hmm. I was actually not an EV, but I found a 500 up Arth for sale, and it was really tempting because it was really clean, low miles, pretty cheap, and they sound really good from the factory.
They sound insane. Like you would not imagine the sound of that kind of coming through that kind of sound, and then blowing by you is this little bitty hatchback
Yeah,
or convertible.
it sounds like this crazy 400 horsepower tuned four cylinder, but I mean, it's like 180.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, they sound extremely gurgly and way
yes,
bigger than a four cylinder.
yeah,
Yeah. So our last little bit, we'll keep this episode pretty short, as it is, kind of a remote episode. We don't want to go over everything without Nathan. So let's just kind of talk about GM. GM had a what quote high security briefing at its
high security.
yeah, I know, right? High security briefing. But it was at its Warren Technical Center. Not actually sure where that is, but I guess it's like where they have their security briefings apparently.
Okay, well, you do
uh,
you.
Yeah, they talked about their future plans for EVs, and as we've mentioned, GM has basically had no plan of EVs. It's really just been we do them
Hmm.
kind of a thing. Looks
They're
like they're actually,
there.
yeah, they're somewhat there. The Bolt has been selling extremely well. It's one of their
Hmm.
few EVs they actually do still keep around. Um, but it looks like GM actually has a plan in the works, and they're looking at having 11 new EVs all on the same platform.
Okay.
We don't know too much what the platform is yet, but it is supposed to be a direct competitor to the Tesla platform. So we might be seeing, 300 miles per charge in some cars coming soon.
Hmm.
Um, GM hopes to sell 1 million of their new EVs by 2025.
Okay.
So yeah, that's some pretty lofty goals.
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
It's
we
GM
do.
though.
It is GM. We do know that they have an EV Hummer coming out, as well as an EV Silverado should be out by 2025.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
that's pretty much all we know at the moment about it. It's just kind of weird that they had a high security briefing to talk about 11 new EVs. Maybe it
Yeah,
was we're going to talk about it, and you're not going to tell anybody.
probably. Now
So.
we all know.
Well, the Detroit Free Press was there, so it's like, it's how secure is it if you're allowing reporters in?
Not at all.
Yeah. um, so that's pretty much it for news this week. Next week we'll talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We've got a high-end GV. The GV80 SUV's prices were announced.
Hmm.
BMW has changed their logo for some stupid reason. They've also announced the i4, and it is god awful hideous. There's a new Alpha coming out, which we already have. Quadrifugila?
That was
How do you pronounce that? Nathan, where are you at?
that was Quatrefoglio.
There we go. Whatever. There's a new version of those coming out, which it is gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
And then we have a whole bunch of Koenigsegg news.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be really, really fun. And golly, they're pretty.
They are.
Um,
They can make a car, man.
yeah. Which it's going to be really interesting. We go. Hopefully, we'll find out some more stuff in the next week before we actually talk about it. But there's some insane torque numbers happening from this new car.
Mm-hmm.
Let's end this week on what we're drinking. What are you drinking this weekend, Zach?
At the moment, I'm drinking a two-hearted ale, which we've
Hmm.
talked about many times, and I think had on the show a couple times.
I think we may have had it on there a couple times.
Hmm. It's
A
pretty
night,
much gone, but
a full Centennial hop beer. It's
mhm. That's a
let's see
one
if we
hop
can.
beer, right?
Hmm.
Which doesn't taste like it. There's for such a simple IPA, there's a lot happening. I would talk more about it, but like I said, it's kind of gone and warm.
Yeah.
It's hoppy, it's delicious, it's balanced. You can down them, and they're 7%, and they're cheap,
Yeah.
so hard to go
Seven
wrong.
percent. Original gravity, according to their website, to 1065. So to get 7%, let's see here. Let's do an ABV calculator.
That would be
Uh,
very.
let's see here. Brewer's Friend. Brewer's Friend has a nice calculator. So a 1060 to get 7% would have to finish at 10. Yeah, 1012. That's a pretty good attenuation. That's 81% attenuation. So they've got some damn good yeast
Hmm.
up in that beer. So that's really good attenuation. Um, but yeah, like we said, it's 100% Centennial hops. It's so according to them has a bitter citrus pine taste,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's a fantastic beer. We've had on quite a bit. I am drinking the lovely, lovely Sierra Nevada 40-year celebration ale, which is, according to Sierra Nevada, is a hop forward beer. They weren't very popular when they started brewing in 1980, but we loved them, and we knew that if we were going to open up a brewery, we'd better make something distinctive. It's been 40 years since then, and we're still brewing what we love. The beer showcases the bold flavors and aromas of a classic West Coast IPA, intense pine and citrus with deep gold color and slight caramel sweetness. Here's to following your passion in the next hops are Cluster, Cascade, and Centennial. The malts are two-row caramelized malts. So with this color that it has, probably run a Crystal 40 or a Crystal 60, and then some oats. And it's got a nice mouthfeel. Head retention is very, very lovely. 6% alcohol, 65% bitter, IBUs, and finishing gravity is 2.7, which is fairly low. So very
That's
nice stuff.
the 40th hop anniversary, right?
Mm-hmm.
the one that Sam brought over.
It is.
It's a pretty good beer.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, if you're looking for an IPA out there this weekend, Two Hearted or Sierra Nevada's 40th anniversary are available pretty much the country. So
Mm.
yeah, hope you guys are off to a great. Sorry for the short episode, but like
Mm-hmm.
we said, we'll be back and better the week after next.
Yeah, and sorry for the slight chop in some of the audio from Barry and the stuttering from me, but that's what happens when we do a remote recording.
Yeah, yeah, get what you get.
At least you got something.
Got something from our lovely, lovely selves. Anyway, thank you guys.
See you later.